Hey everyone, my name is Lucy Bycroft. Welcome to Nagnata's Nag Studio. I'm super excited to be taking you through a mat Pilates class today. We've got 30 minutes together using some hand weights. I've got some 2 kilo weights. You can always find a substitute around the house using some drink bottles or maybe even wine bottles if you want to, or you can do the entire class body weight only as well. So that is totally an option. Let's get straight into it. We're going to start off in a 4-point kneel. So come all the way down. Wrists are going to be underneath your shoulders. Knees are going to be underneath your hips. Let's inhale to reach the right arm all the way out to the right side. And then exhale, thread the right arm all the way under your left. Inhale to reach. Open through the right side of your body. Exhale, let's thread all the way under. Let's go for one more big reach. Inhale. And exhale, find that thread. This time you're going to hold at the bottom. Bring the temple or the cheekbone down to the mat. Maybe the left arm reaches forward, or maybe the left arm binds behind your lower back. Just breathe into that hold here, connecting with your body and your breath. When you're ready, let's bring the left hand all the way back underneath the left shoulder. Take one more lift all the way out to the right, and then lower down through that right side. Let's go to the left. Big inhale to reach. Exhale to thread under. Inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, left arm threads. We've got one more big lift here. Inhale. Exhale, let's find that hold right at the bottom. Maybe the right hand reaches forward, or maybe the right hand binds behind your lower back. Whatever's feeling good, cheekbone or temple presses down to the ground. And then when you're ready, bring the right hand all the way down, open through that left side one more time. Both hands are going to come down to your mat, wrists underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, send your hips nice and high, find that downward dog, and start to pedal out through your feet here. Starting to lengthen and stretch through the backs of your legs. Maybe you press both of your heels all the way down. Let your head hang nice and heavy, really press the mat away. Nice. Soft bend in your knees here. You're going to start to walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Find a forward fold at the back of your mat. Soft bend in those knees. Maybe opposite hand grabs opposite elbow. Maybe rocking side to side or just keeping it still. Once again, let your head hang nice and heavy here. Feel that stretch in the back of your neck. Both arms are going to come nice and long. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, let's roll all the way up to standing one vertebrae at a time, stacking the spine, crown of your head reaches last. Roll those shoulders back at the top. Nice. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let's roll all the way back down. This time leading from the crown of your head. You're going to walk it all the way out to that high plank at the bottom. Wrists underneath your shoulders. You're going to drive your right leg in, press it out. Left leg in, press it out. Come into that little mountain climber. Starting to switch on through your core and your shoulders. Really press up and out of those shoulders. Let's go 4. And then we'll hold that plank. 3. Last 2. Last one. Hold that plank position. Bring the right knee underneath the right hip. Left knee underneath the left hip. Let's tap the knees down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to tap. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Let's just go 4. Really scoop through the belly. Strong through your core. Last 2. Last one, find a little hover off your mat, little pulse for 8, 7, last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees all the way down. We're going to untuck the toes. We're going to lift up with the left elbow. You're going to tap the elbow down to your right forearm. Exhale, lift all the way up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So you're opening through the left side of your body once more. Driving that elbow all the way up and lower. Let's just go for 3. And then we're going to start to add on with that right leg. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Keep that elbow lifted. Start to extend the right leg out. You're going to draw everything in. Find that extension nice and long. Pull it in. Press it out. Maybe if you're feeling good, start to extend the left arm and then draw everything through the center. Let's go for 4. In 3, we're going to hold everything nice and long. Last 2. Last 1, arm and leg nice and long. Find a little pulse for 8, 7. In 6, that hand is going to come down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the left hand. Start to tap the right toes. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Let's go for 4. And then we're going to start to add that left knee. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Lower the right leg. Lift and squeeze the left knee up. Lower everything down. Right leg lifts. Right leg lowers. Left knee in and lower. We're just going to stay for 4. And then we're going to pulse that left knee forward. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Let's lift the left knee. Find a little pulse forward for 8, 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg steps forward. Find that low lunge position. Grab those weights in your hands. Weights are going to come to your chest. Let's start to bend the back knee. And then send that back leg nice and long. Pull it back and then find that extension. So we're hinging into that left side, coming all the way into that left glute. Let's go 4. Nice. Maybe you add those arms. 3. Last 2. Last 1. We're going to hold back in that lunge. We're going to lift all the way up. We're going to lower. So you're into that 90-90 lunge now, getting that back knee nice and low to the mat. And then driving up through the front heel of your foot. Let's go for 4 here. Then we're going to start to add a double pulse. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Let's add a double pulse down in that lunge. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower to pulse. Exhale, we lift. Here for 4. And then we're just going to pulse in that lunge. Last 3. Maybe you want to start to add those arms. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Let's just pulse for 8, 7. Last 6. Getting those shakes already. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up. We lower all the way down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Start to bring your elbows all the way up in line with your shoulders. As you lift here, you're going to start to open your elbows out nice and wide. Pull everything in. Exhale, lift. Inhale in. Nice. Drive through that front heel. We're just going to stay for 4. And then we're going to hold it low. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it down in that lunge. Just pull the elbows wide. Tap the elbows in. Out. In. Let's go for 4. And then we're going to pulse those elbows in the center. 3. Oh my goodness. Last 2. Last 1, arms in, find a little pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Can you get a little bit lower in that hold? 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up, palms face up this time. Lower, press it up, down, extend. Use that exhale to drive all the way up. Inhale, lower down. Let's go 4. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1, find a hold in that lunge. Press your weights forward, pull it in. Exhale, press. Inhale in. My leg is shaking. Get a tiny bit lower for 4. And then we pulse. 3. Last 2. Last 1, weights in, pulse for 8, 7. And we are done with this leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift all the way up. Take a breath. Oh my goodness, that left leg is gone. All right, feet are going to come here with distance apart. Let's flush out the legs. Lower down to your squat. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Nice. So my feet are a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. And you're driving all the way up through the heel. And then knees go nice and wide at the bottom. So think about driving through the heel of your foot. And then sending your hips back. Nice. All the way down. And lift. Let's go for 4. And then we're going to add that double pulse. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Let's add a double pulse at the bottom. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower pulse. Exhale to lift. We're here for 4. And then we're just going to pulse. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1, hold it down, find a pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep those knees nice and wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way up, lower down. Let's go. Round 2. Lift, lower. Use that breath. Use that exhale to lift. Inhale down. We're going to go for 4, and then we're going to start to add on. 3. Last 2. Last 1. This time as you lower, you're going to lift your right heel off your mat. Lower your right heel. Extend those legs. Lower down. Left heel lowers. Extend. So you're adding that little calf raise at the bottom now. And then driving up through the heel of your foot. Let's go for 4 more. And then we're going to hold at the bottom. Last 3. You can drop those weights at any point if you need to. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Hold at the bottom. Just lift and lower through those heels. Let's go 4. In 3, we're going to keep the right heel high. Last 2. Last 1. Lift the right heel off your mat. Pulse it down in that squat. Oh my goodness. 8. 7. Let's go. 6. 5. In 4. 3. 2. 1. Right heel lowers. Left heel lifts for 8. 7. 6. Last 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Lift all the way up. Can't feel my legs. All right. Right leg is going to come forward now. We're going to bring the left leg back. Let's start in that lunge. Let's even out the other side. Lower down. We're going to lift. Lower. We lift. Drive up through that front heel. Keep the core on. Keep your hips nice and square to the front of the room. Let's go. Lower. Lift. Maybe add the arms for 4. And then we're going to add the pulse. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Let's add the double pulse. Lift all the way up. Inhale, pulse. Exhale to lift. We're here for 4. And then we're just going to pulse it out. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's hold it down. Pulse for 8. 7. You've got it. 6. 5. 4. 3. Oh, nearly fell over. Last 2. Last 1. Lift all the way up. Lower down. Lift. Lower. Let's start to bring those elbows all the way up in line with the shoulders. And then when you're ready, start to open out through the elbows and lower down. Lift. And lower down. We're here for 4. Then we've got that hold. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's hold it low in the lunge. Elbows wide. Elbows tap. Press it out. Pull it in for 4. And then we pulse the arms. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Elbows in. Pulse for 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. You've got it. 3. 2. And 1. Arms in. Elbows in nice and close. Palms up. We've got one more push on this right leg. Let's get it. Press it up. Pull it in. Exhale, press. In. Let's go 4. In 3, we've got that hold in the pulse. 2. 1. Hold down. Press it forward. Pull it in. For 4. Oh my goodness. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Weight in. Pulse for 8. 7. In 6, we're going to hinge forward. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Weights come through the center. Extend the back leg. Pull it in. Press it out just for 4. And then we'll make our way down. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Keep the hinge forward. Bring those weights all the way down. Let's bring it into that 4-point kneel. You can get rid of your weights for now. Take a breath. We're going to bring it into that right elbow. Knees underneath your hips. Right elbow lifts. We're going to tap it to the left forearm. We're going to lift up. We're going to lower. Exhale to lift. Draw those shoulder blades together at the top. Find that nice opening through the right side. Nice. Let's go 4. And then we'll start to add the left leg. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's start to add that left leg all the way out. Pull everything in. All the way out. Pull it in. Let's go for 4. And then we'll extend the arm. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's extend the right arm. Pull everything in. Press it out. Pull it in. We're here for 4, and then we're going to pulse. 3. Last 2. Last one, hold everything long, find a pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the right hand, start to tap the left toes. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. Let's go for 4 here. Last 3, then we add that right knee. Last 2. Last 1, let's lower the left leg, lift and squeeze the right knee in. Lower the right knee, lift your left leg. Lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, just for 4. And then we've got that pulse forward. Let's go 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Let's keep the left leg down. Pulse the right knee forward for 4. 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Take a breath. Take a sip of water if you need it. Otherwise, we're coming down onto the right forearm now. So right forearm is down. Left palm underneath that left shoulder. Let's shift the weight into the right side and flex through your left leg. Start to lift out to the side. Start to lower down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. All the way up. All the way down. So onto that right forearm. Right elbow underneath that shoulder. Let's go 4 here. I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. I hope you are too. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1, let's add a little double pulse at the top and then lower all the way down. Exhale, lift and pulse. Inhale, lower. Let's go 4. Nice. Here for 3. Then we're just going to work that pulse. Last 2. Last 1, lift and pulse for 8, 7. In 6, we're going to circle the knee forward in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the knee high. Find a circle forward for 4, 3, then we're going to reverse the circles. Last 2. Last 1, reverse the circle all the way back for 4. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1, extend the left leg all the way out. Tap it down to your mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale to tap. Exhale, lift. Here for 4. And then we're going to pulse that leg nice and long. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1, lift and pulse for 8, 7, 6. In 5, we're going to come into that side plank. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay on that left forearm. You're going to step the left leg forward. Right leg is going to extend. Find a hold in your side plank. If you need less, bring the bottom leg down. Find your hold just here. Let's hold for 5, and then we're going to pulse at the top. Last 4. Here for 3, 2, 1. Find a little pulse up for 8, 7. Last 6. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. We're going to roll straight onto our back. So you're going to grab those hand weights with you again. And we're going to come all the way down. So feet underneath your knees. Elbows are going to be out nice and wide. We're going to come into some bridges. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to press the weights all the way up as you lift your hips. Inhale, we're going to lower everything down. Exhale to lift and squeeze. Inhale to lower all the way down. Nice. Really drive up through the heel of your foot. Bring the heads of those weights together and then lower all the way down. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Nice. You can start to add a little double pulse up at the top when you're ready. And then lower all the way down. Exhale, lift. Double pulse. Inhale, lower all the way down. Nice. Drive up through the heel of your foot. You should be able to lift your toes off your mat. Let's go for 4. Nice. Last 3, then we're just going to pulse at the top. Last 2. Last 1, hold those weights nice and high. Find a little pulse right at the top for 8, 7. In 6, we're going to hold. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Start to lift your heels off your mat. Lower your heels. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Just articulating through that ankle. Try and keep the rest of your body still. Let's go for 4. And then we're going to keep those heels high. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last one, heels are nice and high, lower halfway down. Exhale, lift and squeeze all the way up. Inhale, lower halfway. Exhale, lift and squeeze all the way up. Driving it back to the top, really squeeze your glutes. Make sure that move is coming from your glutes, not your hips. Let's go 4. In 3, we've got a little pulse at the top. Last 2. Last one, find a little pulse right at the top for 8, 7. Then we hold nice and high. 6, 5, 4. Your legs should be shaking. Last 3, 2, 1. Hold right at the top. Just those arms are going to come down. Just the arms press up. Lower down. Exhale, press it all the way up. Bring those weights together. Keep those elbows wide. Let's go 4. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Weights up. Final little pulse here for 8, 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Bring those weights to the side of your mat. We're going to do some single leg work here. So keep your feet hip width distance apart. Lift all the way up. You're going to start to bring your right leg all the way in. Extend the right leg all the way out. So pull it in and then extend. We're coming all the way into that left side, into that left glute. We're driving all the way up. Pull it in and extend. Let's go for 4. Nice. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's bring that right foot on top of your left. We're going to lower the hips. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. We're here for 4. And then we're going to pulse it out. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Lift up, find a pulse. Can you extend that leg to the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the right leg. Let's go straight over to the left side. Pull it in, extend it out. Draw it in and extend. We're here for 4, and then we're going to bring that foot to the right knee. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Bring that foot in. We lower the hips. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Drive up through the right heel. Lower with control. We're here for 4. And then we're going to pulse it up to finish. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Lift nice and high. Find your pulse. Can you extend that left leg up for 8, 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Find a little release through your glutes. We're going to come all the way back into our side plank, but this time you're going to come up onto your left forearm. So we were down on that right side. You're going to come on to your left. Find that nice hold here. Just pressing all the way out of that bottom shoulder. Remember that option is always there to drop that bottom knee. Find that hold. Lift all the way up. Let's go for 8. And then we're going to find that pulse. Last 6, 5, oh my goodness, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find a little pulse up through your hips, burning through those obliques. Let's go 8, 7, last 6. In 5, we're going to bring it down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Let's bring it down into the center. You're going to stay on your left forearm, right palm underneath your right shoulder. We lift the right leg out, we lower down. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, we lower down. Flex through the right leg. Squeeze and lift at the top, lower down. Let's go for 4. Nice. 3, then we're going to add that pulse. Last 2. Last 1, let's add the pulse at the top, lower all the way down. Exhale, lift and pulse. Inhale, lower. We're just going to stay for 4, and then we just pulse at the top. 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1, lift and pulse at the top for 8, 7. Then we've got those circles in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the knee high. Circle forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle back for 4. You're nearly there. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Extend the leg all the way out. Tap it down to your mat. Exhale, lift. Inhale to tap. Exhale, lift. Let's go for 4. Nice. In 3, we're going to pulse that leg. Last 2. Last 1, lift and pulse for 8. You're nearly there. 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Take a child's pose. Take a sip of water if you need it. We're going to come into a little bit more upper body now. So grabbing those hand weights in your hands. Knees are going to be hip width distance apart. Elbows in nice and close. Let's just lower halfway and then lift all the way up into that little half squat and lift. If you're feeling good, you can start to extend the weights and pull everything in. Exhale to press. Inhale to pull it in. Let's go. Squeezing through your core. Squeeze your glutes as you find that extension for 4. In 3, we're going to hold it at the top. Last 2. Last 1. Let's hold at the top. Bring the arms in. Lower into that bicep curl. Pull it all the way in. Lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Nice. Try and focus on keeping these elbows nice and close to your ribs. Full range of motion down. Lift. Nice. Let's go 4. In 3, we're going to add a shoulder press. Last 2. Last 1, let's start to add a press. So rotate your palms, press it forward, palms face you, lower back into that bicep curl. Curl it in, palms face forward, press. Palms face you, lower all the way down. Let's go for 4. Nice. Last 3, then we're going to keep those arms up. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Let's keep the arms up. Pull it nice and wide. Exhale to press it up. Inhale low. We're almost there. This is our last little push. Let's go 4. 3. Then we're going to keep those elbows nice and wide. Last 2. Last 1. Keep the elbows wide. Start to extend the arms nice and long. Pull it in. So you really want to extend all the way out and draw it in. Try and keep those elbows up in line with your shoulders. All the way out. In for 4, and then we're going to keep the arms extended. 3. Last 2. Last 1, arms nice and long. Can you find a little pulse up through your arms? Start to bring those palms to face the ground. 3, 2, 1. Pull the elbows in. Press it out. Pull it in and out for 4. Let's go 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1, palms nice and long, find a little pulse for 8, 7, oh my goodness, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get rid of those weights. We are going to finish off, I'm so sweaty, oh my goodness, with a little core burn. So this is it. This is your finisher. Let's come all the way down to the mat. You're going to bring your hands interlaced behind your head, elbows out nice and wide. Both of your legs are going to come up into tabletop. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, we're going to curl all the way up. Inhale, we're going to lower all the way down. Exhale to curl and lift, and then inhale to lower. So using that breath, using that exhale to drive all the way up. Trying to get those shoulders nice and high off your mat. You should start to feel a little shake through those upper abs as you lift. And then melt the shoulders all the way down. Let's go for 4, and then we're going to start to add on a diagonal crunch. Last 3. Nice. Last 2. Last 1. Let's start to bring right elbow over to left knee, lower through the center. Left elbow, right knee, and lower. Getting that opposite shoulder nice and high. If you're starting to feel good here, you can start to extend the opposite leg all the way out and then pull it in. Find that extension and then pull it in. Nice. Let's go 4 here. And then we're going to hold to that left knee. Last 3. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Hold the right elbow to your left knee. Start to draw the right leg in. Extend the right leg out. Pull it in. Maybe you want to reach the right arm to the outside of your left knee. Lift nice and high. Find that extension. Let's go 4. And then we're going to pulse it out for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Extend the right leg nice and long. Find a pulse up for 8, 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take it straight over to the other side. Start to draw the left leg in, extend the left leg out. Maybe the left arm reaches to the outside of your right knee. Think about drawing your rib cage in, drawing your belly to your spine. Let's go for 4, and then we'll pulse it out to finish, and that is it. Last 3. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Extend the left leg nice and long. Pulse it up to finish. This is it for 8, 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down. Hug your knees to your chest. You have done it. Take a breath. Take a little rock side to side. Let's have a little cool down, little stretch to finish off your class. The hard part is done. Let's start to bring that right knee into your chest and extend your left leg out nice and long. Find some little circles through the right hip out to the right side. Taking a big inhale when you're ready. And as you exhale, let's cross the right knee over to the left, finding that spinal twist. Maybe your eye gaze goes over to the right hand, drawing that knee down to your mat, anchoring through the shoulders. Taking a big inhale. And as you exhale, pull your knees to the center. Cross the right ankle over your left knee. Grab the back of the left thigh or maybe the left shin. Start to rock side to side. Bring the shoulders down to the ground. Breathing into any tension through that glute here. And then when you're ready, keep that left leg hugged into your chest. Right leg goes nice and long. Start to circle through the left hip, opening the left knee out to the left side, taking a big inhale. And as you exhale, find your spinal twist all the way over to the left. Maybe your eye gaze goes over to the right. Maybe the arms extend out. Taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, pull it through the center. Left ankle crosses over right knee. Find that figure 4 stretch, just rocking side to side, hugging the back of the right leg or the shin. And then when you're ready, both legs go nice and long. Let's finish off with 3 deep breaths. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, let your feet fall out to the side, closing down your eyes if you haven't already. Taking a big breath in through your nose and big breath out through your mouth. Stretching your arms above your head. Take another deep breath in and big breath out, let it go. Final round of breath here. Biggest inhale all the way to your belly and big breath out your mouth. Hugging both of your knees into your chest, maybe rocking side to side, slowly cracking open your eyes, making your way all the way up. Take any further stretches that you need, otherwise you are all done. Thank you so much for joining me today for Nagnata with Nag Studio. Have the most beautiful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you on the mat again soon. Bye.